YouTube, what's up? It's your boy DeMonte Sims, and we're back with another video. So in today's video, I'm going to be answering one simple question, and I get asked this question every time I pull up in my Tesla, or every time somebody finds out that I own a Tesla, and it's should you buy it? And over the last 3 months, I've collected some data, and I'm gonna give you my spending that has cost me to own this, and how the maintenance works, and just my overall experience with it. So these are gonna be real life answers for anyone that's wondering what's it like to own a Tesla and if it's worth it or not. Okay, so obviously the very first thing we're gonna talk about is the savings. So I'm gonna pull up my app to just try to see what exactly I spent and what's the cost of actually having a car. And I drive pretty frequently, so this is going to be for like a heavy user. So let me pull out my app and I'm gonna show you guys on screen how much I spent for the month of October, I believe. So, all right, right here, I spent a total of $77, and 15 of that, I believe, was on Supercharge, and $12 was on Supercharge, for a total of $27. So in total, I spent about $50 to charge my car that month, and it has been like that pretty much every month that I've had it for the last 3 months. So for me, the reason why I say only $50 is because I only supercharge for special circumstances. I don't supercharge just because I'm out. I typically am really good at charging my car when I get home or when it's needed. So I don't really count the supercharge as a cost. But even if you want to put it in there, $77 is still way less than what I was paying in gas, which is probably an average of $600 to $650 a month, just because of my commute from work to home. Also, one thing I would like you guys to know is that the maintenance on this car is absolutely zero in hindsight. You have no oil changes, you have no engine problems, you have no engine maintenance, none of that. The only thing you have to worry about is tire rotations and your brakes pretty much. Everything else is pretty much updatable and extremely low maintenance if you have to change it, and 9 times out of 10 it's going to be like cosmetic issues from my understanding. But that was also something that I took into account when I was getting this car, because right now these cars are very expensive, so I wanted to make sure I was getting, you know, the bang for my buck. And when I actually did more research and found out that it's practically no maintenance, and you calculate that price in every year, you know, like oil changes, you probably spend, I don't know, maybe $300, $400 on oil changes depending on the car. That's extra $400 I don't have to spend now. You know, engine problems, you know, refilling oils, and you know, things of that nature. So when you calculate, I'm only spending $50 in charging and then no maintenance costs. I completely think that the car is worth it just from that alone. Also, if you guys were wondering, I drive about maybe 50 to 60 miles a day. So I'm a pretty heavy driver, so to only spend $50, hey, you really can't beat it. You can't say anything about it, and that's probably the most thing that I appreciate about the car. But in order to get to that, the car does have some upfront costs. Like I got my car wrapped, so that was $2,100, and then to get the charger installed, I paid $1,200. On top of me already paying $65,000 for the car. So those are things that I knew about, but it really didn't slap me until I actually had to pay for it. But it's a one-time thing. You get it out the way, you don't have to do it again, so that's a good thing right there. And that's probably the only thing that kind of hit me by surprise, was the actual cost of things that you need to get before you get the car. Next, let's talk about this car almost being an actual investment. Now, I know cars are typically not investments and they depreciate tremendously, but this car does depreciate, but at the same time, it almost appreciates because the demand is so high that you can almost always sell your car for more than what you bought it for. So in my eyes, that makes it an investment. Also, the battery life is said to last up to at least 500,000 worth of miles, and for me, that's a deal breaker. Because when I'm looking for cars, with this being my new car, I knew that wouldn't be the worry. But typically, my previous cars, when I was looking at cars, one big thing about the car outside of the look was the mileage. And by having longevity, I knew that it's a long-term investment because I don't plan on getting a new car anytime soon. Whereas maybe with a different car, maybe I keep it 2-3 years and, you know, trade it in. This car, I don't plan on trading it in. I plan on keeping it for at least 5 to 7 years, and maybe even passing it on to my kids if I can get it to last that long. So for me, that makes it a personal investment. And on top of it being something that I wanted, I think if you want something, you invest in it. I didn't necessarily need it, so I can't say it's a need investment, but I wanted it, so I want to invest in something that I wanted and something that would save me money, as you've seen before. So all those things tied together makes it an investment in my eyes. Now, the last reason to get one is the look. In my opinion, a Tesla is an absolute flex. Every time I pull up somewhere, whether it's a grocery store or at work, I'm catching eyes. And I'm not a flashy type of person, but it's kind of nice to have people admire, the nice things that you have. While at the same time, a Tesla is very low profile, so it's not like, too attention seeking. I can say that when you pull up in a Tesla, people just assume that you have money. I don't have money. It's not a $100,000 car, but the look and feel of it is definitely a luxury feel. And personally, I think that's probably up there in the top reasons why I wanted it, right? I just want to have something that's very high end, while at the same time isn't, over 100K, and was really efficient and cost efficient. So this just kind of checked a lot of boxes for me. That's the main reason why I went with it. Also, I'm just a fanboy of Teslas, and I've always wanted one. So the fact that I was able to get one at the age of 24, a brand new one with 0 miles on it, is definitely an accomplishment for me. And I just think when you show somebody a Tesla on the inside and out, people are just like super blown away. Not really that I would have cared if people, liked the car, and that wouldn't have stopped me from getting it. But I feel like when I pull up in a Tesla, the thought process of me as a person changes. Not necessarily he has money, but I look at it as like he's successful if he can get this car. All in all, I love the look of it. Some people complain about the body style of the 3s and the Ys. I love them. It drives really smooth. Coming from a Charger, I wanted something that was pretty fast, and this is fast. And if you like fast cars, Teslas are it. Also, it's the safest car in the world from my knowledge. So if you have kids, that's also a plus. And that's something I looked into as well. With me having kids, I wanted a car that's super safe, while at the same time checked a lot of boxes for me personally. And the Tesla just did that. So yeah, guys, those are 3 reasons why you should get a Tesla. And from my experience of having a car for over 3 months, those are some things that I've experienced. And if you guys enjoy videos like this, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to get more content out like this in the near future. But until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace.